starts at 4 a.m. Pacific time for 2 hours in German, and at 6 a.m. we go to English, but we're still going to hear from Detlef, who's going to be in Switzerland. And following that program at 6 a.m. in English, he'll catch us up, and at 7 a.m. we're going to hear from Neil, who is with the Sovereign Independent in the UK. So we're going to hear about what's going on over there with some inside information on the 7/7 bombings. Being an inside job, and if you haven't looked at the Olympic opening ceremony for the Chinese Olympics in 2008, check that out, because it's truly an homage to the Illuminati Luciferian world that unfortunately we live in. At 8 o'clock we're going to have Bert. Bert's been on the program too. Remember, Charlie, you had him on?
Yes, I do.
So he's on with Are You a Free Man? At 8 a.m. At 9 o'clock, I'm going to be on, and I'm going to have my friends Dr. Am Rosen, and Dr. Dean Lloyd join me. And then at 10 a.m. in the morning, we're going to have the New World Odor Report with Matt Navarro. Detlef and Charles Irwin will also join him, and the three of them have really helped, and they were part of the core team of United We Strike, getting us off the ground. We're going to have an open round table at 11, so Charlie, I know that you're going to be occupied, but if you are around with your little Latina tomorrow, that's a good time to call in and be part of a round table. At 12, we're going to have Humanity Transcending with Siobhan Cerisi and Dr. Will Spencer. She's great. Mm-hmm. We got Open Your Mind at 1 p.m. That's Irish Radio with Alan and Steve, and they're going to be talking to Walter Graham about fluoride and also the light bulbs, the green light bulbs that are toxic and full of mercury. Then we're going to have Dr. Mike Castle on chemtrails with Dr. Gwen Scott. At 3 p.m., Jesse Beltran is not going to be there because Jesse will be at Bohemian Grove, which is happening this weekend. Secret Society bullcrap coming down big time in California this weekend. But Lars will host, and we're going to be talking, or they're going to be talking about an interview with Dr. Barry Trower on, this is just a mind blower, and I'll put this in the chat because there is intentional radio frequency targeting which affects Olympic performance and does not leave a trace. Now, I find this just a whole other rabbit hole I had never even considered. Can you imagine that some of these athletes won't even realize that they have an RFID chip because it'll be under the guise of a B12 shot, a vaccine to get into the country, a flu shot? You know, they won't know. Their doctors may not even know. But those in the background, in their sinister lairs, are able to target athletes and make them either tired or they can give them a boost of adrenaline. What do you think of that, Charlie?
You know, you and I talked a little bit about this today, and you sent me that information on it, and it's fascinating, and I think we're going to try to get him on next week too, aren't we?
Yeah, that would be great. Now, I'm booked next week. I've got Kevin Annett, who's going to be talking about the intentional genocide of the indigenous people in Canada, some of the Native Americans, condoned by the church, and also the lawsuit against Pope Le Pew, His Ass Holiness, along with the Queen, and the churches for covering all this up. So, but I think that we should get Jesse on, and also
maybe we can get him on. Maybe we can get him on Wednesday or Thursday's program. I'll get a hold of him over the weekend. I'll send him a message and see if we can't get him on. It'd be very timely, obviously, because they're kicking that off here real soon.
Yeah, and we all need to keep a close eye on what's happening over there, and find out too from Jesse about the Bilderberg. The Bohemian Grove.
Bohemian Grove. Yeah. What's he doing down there, Karen? Do you know what is?
He's going to be speaking. So there's an event that he'll be speaking at, and I've
not speaking in the Bohemian Grove.
No, around it. They've got a massive protest, and as well, the next program that is usually on the marathon is Deborah Whitman of Environmental Voices, and she will be there too. She's going to be documenting it, and she says that Occupy San Francisco will be there, and she's a little bit concerned about that because that group, over the 4th of July weekend, they were tipping over police cars and causing some damage. So there are provocateurs in there. So it's going to be
there's
quite something.
provocateurs, but there's also people who are, let's be honest here. There's people who are just downright getting mad. This is the second full year of the Occupy movement, and I know that the mainstream wants to pigeon it all into a left-wing organization, or just like they did with the Tea Party into the right wing. But the frustration's real, and this isn't a shock. We're going to see an escalation of hostility because frustrations are going to continue to rise, especially the people who are seeing through the lies and seeing through the mainstream garbage and being told the same things over and over again, and to see nothing happening except the same players making the same promises, and the same uber elite on the top are the ones who are being taken care of, while everybody else is told just to shut up and take it and things will get better, do as you're told. This is inevitable that this is going to continue to be escalating in intensity, and unfortunately it's going to escalate in violence, and it's going to escalate in the severity of these acts.
Well, this is just more par for the course, but we've got to try our best not to become targeted. And also, when you listen to the interview with this Barry Trower, who talks about the microwaves, peaceful protesters have been targeted. Yeah. They send out these microwave frequencies which make people sick down the line. You cannot even tell it's being done. We live in such a crazy world. So we're going to get into that. And then at 4, Deborah Whitman won't be on because she will be documenting there. Now, if she can call, she will. But the following Friday on my program after the hour with Kevin Annett, we're going to Deborah Whitman, so she'll give us more updates on Bohemian Grove, and then we're going to have the extra special hour and jump over to Wolf Spirit and United We Win to continue with that, and have Deborah Tavares as well. So on the marathon, though, we're going to talk during her time about chemtrails and consciousness beyond chemtrails, which is coming up, and we're going to be promoting for that, and Susan Lang also on GMOs. Then we've got at 5, It Is Here Now with Vicki Barker. She covers all kinds of different events, as well as we're going to get into United We Light. And Gary, the Smart Scarecrow Show, has a regular spot at 6 p.m. Pacific. So he'll be on with Sterling Allen at 7. We'll have Phil Restino and Larry Pinkney with We Cannot Be Silent. And then at 8 o'clock is another roundtable. So, folks, if you want to call in and you want to join us, you can do so. Then at 9 is the debut of State of Mind, Quality of Life with Dr. Dean Lloyd and Ann Rosen. And then after that, it's up to Dave how long we go. But it's a full day. And I just, after listening to your program last night, I keep hearing all the things that are wrong. And while we have different solutions, we have to get on the same page. We have to take unified action because we outnumber the sons of guns. And if we're going to get our country back, we have to start lining up together and simply refusing to participate. Peaceful noncompliance can do wonders. We have never really tried a strike here in this country against the government, but one not only against the government here, but in other parts of the world where our demands are simple. Erase all the fraudulent debt. I refuse to work today because you haven't erased the debt. Or I refuse to work for 2 or 3 or 4 days. I want an immediate cessation of war. I want all soldiers sent to their respective countries to help rebuild. And you want to fight somebody? Well, if you're a soldier and you're coming home, go root out the criminal bankers who are hiding in the bank ground and ruining our world. So, Charlie, what do you think of them apples?
Well, I would love to see that too, Karen. I really would. Unfortunately, I'm probably of a school of thought that thinks that first of all, what kind of percentage of people are we talking that would have to affect that change? I want this to happen. I'm just trying to be somewhat realistic about what the average person in this country either knows or cares to know, number one. And after doing this for, the YouTube channel for 4 years and this program, I do see people waking up. I do see people standing up, and a lot of people are saying enough is enough. But I'm sorry. I really think we're going to see a tragedy happen before the kind of numbers we need to stand up do so. And when I'm not talking a violent well, it could be violence, but I think we're going to see a real collapse, a real crisis be unleashed on the people of this country and the world, and it's probably going to come in the form of debt, as you know, we're being conditioned to hear sovereign debt. We have to handle this. When they decide it's time to implement the ultimate control, this global financial governance, they will use it as a weapon. And you know, perhaps at that point in time, we'll have enough folks like you out there who've been saying, you know what, we need to just back off and tell them, forget it, we're not going to participate in the system anymore. Or hopefully we have enough patriots in the military that say, you know what, we're not going to do this. We're not going to wage these illegal wars anymore. That we have the awakening that we need to affect real change.
Yeah, I know that it's tough, and I guess the whole thing, though, is will you do it? You know, will you do it every 15th? Will you refuse to buy your gas on the 15th or go to Starbucks, you know, brown bag your lunch? Because when we start, good, I'm doing it. I'm doing it now for 3 days, but it's easy for me. I live out of town. I only go shopping once every 2 or 3 weeks, and then I try and hit the local stores that are owned here as well as the farmers markets around.
I tried, when you're hosting the strike weekend, I try to schedule that for my turning everything off weekend, and not do anything. You just try to unplug and not pay attention to any news, internet, or television or whatever, and you know, just focus on my family. Focus on if I need to do something around the home, I try to do it then. So
there
I don't have, you know.
And that's perfect. That's perfect. And earlier, for folks who haven't heard this before, I want to read you the tenets of Bohemian Grove, just quickly, because this is their stated mission. This is what they want, and our misrepresentatives, including Obama, both Presidents Bush, all of our Kissinger. You know, these miscreants belong to this. And when we say elite, we came up with another definition. We fine-tuned it now. So when we're saying elite, that's evil, lying, inbred, traitorous, eugenicists. They want us dead, folks. And it's time that we realize that. And that, Charlie, is what I think finally, when people get that, and they know that if they want clean blue skies and clean, healthy water and food, we need to say no, because we're going over the edge. But here you go, the Bohemian Grove modus operandi, and that's this weekend, folks. The activities of the order are directed toward changing our society, changing the world, to bring about a new world order. This will be a planned order with heavily restricted individual freedom, without constitutional protection, without national boundaries or cultural distinction. And every Republican president since Hoover, including Reagan, Ford, Bush, have belong. And the elements they want to control are education, finances, law, politics, economy, history, psychology, philanthropy, medicine, religion, media, and continuity of government. The objective of the order is neither left nor right. Left and right are artificial devices to bring about change, and the extremes of political left and political right are vital elements in a process of controlled change. The conflict of opposites is essential to bring about change, and it can be found in the Trilateral Commission literature. Change is promoted, and conflict management is also termed as a means to bring about this change. So that's what our elected officials are honoring, you know, and it's all traitorous. And speaking of traitors, an expert in what it means to be a traitor is my guest, Charles Irwin, tonight. Charles, welcome to the program.
How are you, Karen? I'm sorry I'm late.
That's all right. I was on a roll.
You were on a roll. I like that.
And Charlie was helping. And Charles Irwin is from AmericanFreedomBooks.com. And now, Charlie, I know you don't have too much more time left. Can you be with us beyond this break, or do you need to bow out now?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm here till I want to make sure we have a good feed on that video that audio you want to play. So I'm here till you don't need me anymore.
All right, awesome. Because now what we want to do is really get into what we can do and to understand why and how we got here. And I really thought you had a great program last night, Charlie. And it's just so obvious how we've been fooled. And Charles, why don't you sent me a really great article today about what we can do. And why don't we get into that a little bit? You know, why don't you put here 4 steps that we need to take. So I'm going to give you the floor here.
Okay. Well, first of all, I'm working on an article. It'll be on my blog soon. I sent you the incomplete version. But every time on the radio, I talk about my book and it explains the difference between legal and lawful. But everybody wants a game plan, as if knowing that our government is treasonous is not enough. So I devised a game plan. There's 4 steps we can use to take the republic back. First, we have to identify the problems, which my book, American Freedom, does a good job of that. Knowledge and education, my book, I wrote it for that as well, to let people know what's actually going on, what the government's doing to you. And then we can use grand and petite juries to protect ourselves. Right now we have a legal system that the Founding Fathers created as a lawful system. And the legal system has taken away all our rights and taken over the courts, taken over the government, created another government, created another constitution. We have basically 2 entities, there's 2 United States, one's legal and one's lawful. In the legal United States, we have no rights. And the lawful United States is the one the Founding Fathers created. But when we say United States, most people think we're just talking about one entity. And the lawyers and the politicians did this on purpose. You were talking about the New World Order, the people in the Trilateral Commission, Bilderberg Group, Council on Foreign Relations. This has been a goal, bringing America into the New World Order and taking over America for over 200 years now, and they've been slowly, methodically doing it. And they've been doing it with the legal system, which everybody thinks, even in the Patriot movement, I hear people talking about legal, is it legal, is it legal? It's not, the issue is not if it's legal. Legal is a fiction. Legal is not real law. The issue should be if it's lawful. Every legal law is unconstitutional, if you look at it that way. Only lawful laws are constitutional. So we have legal grand juries because they've usurped our court system and everything else. But we can use grand and petite juries, even though they're legal, to protect ourselves, because it's still real people with our butts in those chairs, So, but first you have to have the knowledge of the system to protect ourselves. The petite juries are the 12 men and women usually that are in the jury that are hearing a case. If we knew the difference between legal and lawful, say for instance, something even as frivolous as a traffic ticket. You want to fight a traffic ticket. You turned red. You turned on a red light and you didn't stop totally, and
But hang on, Charles, so that you can elucidate after the commercial. And Cheryl, I see that you're in. All right. Well, we're making some sound here because it wouldn't be a show without it. This is Kara, and welcome back to the program. We've got Charlie McGrath is here. We've also got Charles Irwin from American Freedom Books. We've got Cheryl coming right up. But Charles, I want you to finish your point on petite juries. What are petite juries?
Petite juries are usually 12 men and women sitting on jury when we go to trial. It can be civil, it can be criminal, but these are the ones deciding our fates. And the thing of it is if they knew what our rights were, if they knew what legal and laws and lawful laws were, they could acquit us of all legal laws and only judge us on lawful laws. So, for instance, what's near and dear to everybody's heart right now is the Supreme Court just passed the health care bill. I mean, they gave it its blessing. They said it's constitutional. Well, most Americans know it's unconstitutional. But so since they passed it and Congress passed it the first time, they're not going to really do anything about it. It's just another unconstitutional law where they want to take over our health care and and get into more of our affairs, whenever you go to court, you decide to fight it. Like, for instance, I wouldn't buy health care unless I wanted to, so I would fight it. You go to court, and a knowledgeable petite jury acquits you. If it's a health care issue to do with their health care bill, we all know the damn bill is unconstitutional. So whenever anybody goes before a jury, we acquit ourselves. Basically, that's nullification. We nullify unconstitutional bad laws coming from Congress or any place or the states.
Because basically the difference between legal and lawful is that legal is the system that is set up with its legal economic conquest, the paperwork that ties us to abuses of power that have nothing to do with natural God-given rights granted to us by our Creator. Do no harm. That's the bottom line. Petite jury sounds more like short people got no reason got. Oh, sorry, I'm not going to go there. Cheryl. Cheryl, welcome to the program. What's on your mind?
Karen, I love you. I look forward to your Friday night shows every week. And I'm just calling in to tell you that I think that you should expand your do not buy on the 15th to do not file your taxes.
Well, the only reason why I'm not out there, Cheryl, telling people that is because they take us down individually. What I'd like to see is so many of us finally understand that none of us have to pay. And not only that, but we are all due a huge refund because we've been ripped off for years.
Yes, ma'am, I agree. And I've written to Charlie, and I hope that he's forwarded my email to you. I would love to have you ask Catherine Austin Fitz to be a guest on your show on Friday nights, because she says the same thing. Why are we paying the federal government to kill us?
Exactly.
I've got I've got a 100-page chapter in my book on income taxes that explains all that. So.
Yeah, and you can buy you can purchase Charles's book one chapter at a time. So that might help too. But thank you, Cheryl. I would love to speak with Catherine Austin Fitz about this.
Please,
I'll do what I can to get her on.
Please ask her to come on. Yeah. And she has suggested this a long time ago. Why are we paying the federal government to kill us?
Exactly. That's what they're doing. And I hope you tune into the marathon tomorrow. It's going to be a long day. It's going to be a good day.
You don't announce enough on the show where to go for that. I have listened to you over and over again, and I never know where to go.
Well, I love to tell people where to go, Cheryl. It gets me in trouble.
Your voice just resonates with me, Karen. I just love you to death, and I thank Charlie for having you on every Friday. I wish you were on more.
Well, thank you. If you go to unitedwewin.me, and I will start promoting more of that, Cheryl, because I just keep hearing about all of this malfeasance, and I think that we need to get on the same page and at the same time say no. I refuse. I refuse to go to work until you get rid of the IRS. I refuse to go to work until you erase all fraudulent debt. I refuse to go to work if you're going to tell me I need a vaccine. We can clean up our world. It's a lot easier than we make it. And we need these short people on these petite juries. Maybe they'll let a couple taller ones slide in.
I totally agree. And I think, one of the things that people can do is, and I don't know how much that is allowed anymore, but you can, change your deductions on your paycheck so that, you're actually not paying anything in federal taxes. It used to be that way. I don't know. I think they might have changed it so you can't do it too much anymore, but you can get real close. Add more and more dependents to your W-2 so you're not actually paying anything on your weekly paycheck. And then in April, don't file.
Well, when we get a mass number of people who know their rights, because instead of dependents, we want to make sure we don't turn into defendants, because they're ready to nail us. And
I know.
It's
I'm waiting for them to knock down my door. because I haven't filed in 2 years, and I don't intend to because I'm so sick of it. So sick of everything that they're doing.
Yeah,
they're slow killing us all, and they think it's perfectly legal. And Monsanto is running the goddamn country. Excuse my French, but I'm not paying them to kill me. As far as I'm concerned, they're complicit in killing my mother because they don't allow THC out of cannabis to cure people, and they're claiming that that's an illegal. It's not illegal. It's something that God gave us to help us, and they've banned it, and now my mother's dead. So I'm not playing with their game anymore. I'm just not.
I understand. Succumb to the medical system, and I know. But until more of us know that all of us take that stand, I would love to see April 15th we've called strike. So instead of giving, the evil lying traitors or evil lying inbred traitors eugenicists a big show and a parade, volunteer month, nobody shows up. I've got to let you go because we got Charlie on for a limited bit of time, and I want him to play a clip here.
But I'm just saying that Congress is behind all of this, and they're the ones that are approving all this stuff, and it just makes me crazy. And so writing to your congressman does nothing.
Exactly. We need to get rid of all of them. They're misrepresentatives. And if you look at Charles's book too, you'll see the definition of political party in Black's Law has absolutely nothing to do with government anyway. They're just a bunch of people who are espousing a certain belief.
Yep, I know, and they're getting wealthy doing it while we are all suffering. So anyway, I just wanted to let you know I love you, Karen. Take care.
Well, thank you very much, Sarah. You too. Well, and UnitedWeWin.me tomorrow all day long. You can also get it on wolfspirit.com, and there will be some other stations. We'll be around the radio all day. Thank you very much. Okay, now I sent Charlie a video because when we're talking about what's legal and what's lawful, this is a very brave man, Anderson.
Stephen Anderson.
He stopped at a checkpoint in 2010 where they broke his window, they tased him, they beat the crap out of it, they shoved his face into the broken glass on his window. Just at a traffic stop. And this is him this year through California, stopped at a checkpoint. And actually, he was very successful because now he knows his rights. So take it away, Charlie.
All right. And you were kind of breaking up there a little bit. I want to make sure that I give his name out here. It's Stephen Anderson. And this audio, let me explain the audio clip here a little bit because, he's driving on I-80 in Southern California. It's an east-west highway, and it doesn't intersect the international border anywhere. And you're going to hear him pulling up to a traffic or to a random checkpoint. And, of course, he's going to have an air quote enforcement individual walk up and ask him if it's hard to hear. The main question they want him to answer is, are you a U.S. citizen? So if you can't hear that, this is what he's responding to, the question of, are you a U.S. citizen? Then, if you can't hear them say, because it might be hard to hear playing on the radio, you'll hear his response to that. They'll ask him to pull to the side. And so the two questions that they're going to be asking is, are you a U.S. citizen? When he refuses to partake in this, they ask him to pull his car to the side so they can deal with him on the side. So this is, here it is. Here we go. It's about 5 minutes long. So here we go.
What's up, man?
How you doing today, sir?
Good.
You a U.S. citizen?
That's my business.
Well, it's our business to ask. Are you a U.S. citizen or not?
You can ask, that's fine.
And you have to answer me, or I have to detain you until you can either tell me you're
Well, I don't have to answer you because I have rights as an American.
Sir, go ahead and pull over there behind that other vehicle. If you do me a favor.
No, thanks. I'd like to just go on my way.
You can go on your way as soon as you tell me if you're a U.S. citizen.
Well, I didn't know that I have to go around proving that I'm a citizen. Do I need to like show my papers like the Nazis or? I'm not. Am I immigrating somewhere or is this Mexico or? Huh? Well, let me ask you this. Is this Nazi Germany now? I have to show my papers.
Simple yes or no. You can either answer it or we can continue here so we figure out whether you're a citizen.
Well, what's more simple is the fact that my freedom is a little more important than you seem to think. And that, setting up checkpoints where people have to prove that they're a citizen is not something that America is supposed to be about. So I'm not sure if you understand that.
Huh? He doesn't want to tell me a citizen.
Well, I'm just driving down the road here and I've been stopped for some reason and I'm, no thank you.
I want you to put
no thanks. I want to go free on my way.
Okay.
I'm, here I am just going about my own business and, I don't need to stop at a checkpoint where I have to prove who I am because this is America. And correct me if I'm wrong, did I stumble into Mexico or is it still the United States? Okay, well then therefore I should have the freedom to travel unmolested because I'm in America here. So.
Well, go ahead, look.
Go ahead and go where?
Going on the road.
Okay, see you later.
Thanks
for taking my call.
Yes, sir.
Hey, I'd like you to tune this one a little bit, considering,
Got a secretary to the right?
No.
Thanks, you got a secretary
No, thank you.
to the right?
No. I don't know why you held me up in this traffic jam for the last 20 minutes. This is the third checkpoint I've been through in the last couple hours. No, thank you. I'd like to go free on my way, please.
Hey, get a stew.
That was a compliment to get a student.
Got a secretary? Look at that. What's up, man?
What's up?
All right. Can we have you pull him secondary, please?
No, thank you. I'd like to go free on my way.
And why don't you want to go secondary?
Maybe it's because I've just sat in traffic for the last 20 minutes and I'm already running late and I don't have time to stop at your Nazi checkpoint and show my papers today. I thought this is America. I thought I had some freedom to travel unmolested and I'm just trying to go about my business here. I don't have time to play games with you guys. I don't know what you think you're doing here.
All right,
Stopping me for no reason.
Heather, can you run this car really quick?
You stopped me for no reason. I've waited in traffic for the last 20, 30 minutes that you guys created this traffic jam. I got places to go. I have to go make an honest living.
All right, hold on.
And you guys want to screw around with me.
My bad.
Karen, I'll go ahead and stop it there because it's about a minute of him being checked. They don't say another word to him. But at the end of this one, it has the exact same result as the other checkpoint, which is once he confronts him and, he's not indignant. He's not brazen in their face. He's just saying, no, thank you. I don't want to submit. I don't want to pull to the side. I don't want to tell you, my citizenship, my nationality, and questioning them calmly. They end up having no choice but to let him go. And I saw somebody put in chat that this looked fishy, and it's not. I'll put the link to the video in the chat room. And this, he videos himself going through there. You can see the checkpoint Gestapo trying to get him just to answer a simple question. And it really seems that way, right? It seems to, especially a lot of people who are sound asleep, that, why is he being so obstinate? Why doesn't he just answer the question? But it's all the same thing. It's about domination and control. Get you to pull over, get you to answer these questions, get you to capitulate, get you to bow down and kiss the boot heel of tyranny, and he just refuses to do it. Which hats off to this guy.
Yeah, for the non-supportive dominators. Charles, what did you think?
Well, there was a lot of stuff going on there with jurisdiction. When they were asking him if he's a U.S. citizen, they were asking if he was a citizen of the United States Federal Corporation. If he'd said yes, then they have jurisdiction to make him pull over and to stop him. He wouldn't answer. So basically, he ran across some guys who I guess they'd been schooled in legal versus lawful law. The legal United States is a corporation. They have jurisdiction over everything you do there, but as a flesh and blood person in the founding fathers of the United States, they don't. That's why they say U.S. citizen. I would have probably said I'm an American citizen.
Would you say that? You're an American citizen. Isn't that also letting you into all of their rules and regs and all the rest of it?
No, it's always they trick you with the United States. They got several definitions of United States. You look in United States Code, Title 28, Section 3002. It says United States is a federal corporation. You look in their Black's Law Dictionary. They got U period S period as a corporation. United States in all caps, corporation. United States of America. But all the forms ask you if you're a U.S. citizen. I haven't seen a form yet that asks if you're an American citizen.
So that would be different. So if a policeman stopped you and said, is that how you would respond? You would say, I'm an American citizen?
Most likely, yeah.
How about what he said, Charles, which is you just politely refuse to answer the question. Are you a U.S. citizen? Are you an American citizen? Whatever the question they pose to you. I mean, and just say, you can ask. I choose not to answer.
That's true. I mean, he can do that, but people get beat up, shot, and everything else doing that because these guys, first of all, they have no jurisdiction to pull you over, but they don't know it. Secondly, you never know what they're going to do.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I really, in watching this, I've watched it about 3 times now. It surprises me that. And I loved his answer when they asked him to pull over. That was the thing. They want to segregate him and get him off to the side where they can really, really detain him. So when he's sitting in line at traffic, they're forced to act. They have to do something. When he refuses to answer their question, and then when they pull over to the side, he says, "No, thank you." I love it. It's completely disarming.
Yeah, people don't realize that. All these corporate police, they're the police of the United States corporation. Unless they're an elected sheriff, they have no jurisdiction over real people. Now, the other jurisdictional issues is, his car he was driving. Did he have a driver's license? They try to take jurisdiction if you have a driver's license. His car had license plates. That's their car because, you got license plates on it. I mean, there's all these tricks that they use to get jurisdiction over us. They're all fraud because people don't know it. But everybody wants to live in the legal system instead of the lawful system. Nobody knows about it. I mean, you can't defeat a problem. You can't solve a problem when you don't know that one exists. So you got to really realize the legal system versus the lawful system. We got 2 different countries here. And, who is working for you and who's working against you and who has jurisdiction and who doesn't.
Who's your daddy?
Yeah, once enough of us know this, I mean, they won't be able to stop you. And if you knew that these guys were nothing more than security guards, every police officer who goes to the academy and works with the city, they're security guards for the city. They have no jurisdiction over real people because you didn't elect them.
All right, Charles, hold that. Folks, we are taking a break now. This is our long break. I want to encourage you to